I thought that the acting from the small boy who plays Nick was very incredible, especially when you understand how old he is. And I also thought that the character of the mom was a very beautiful character who, even in this short film, had a really great character arc when she came around and was able to accept her son for his authentic self. I thought the set design was really great. There were multiple locations throughout a home and outside. I thought the sunflower side in the dining room was a fun little Easter egg. And there were sunflowers um, placed around the set design that seemed to bloom, or there were more sunflowers towards the end as Nick kind of bloomed into his own authentic self. The cinematography was really beautiful. There were a couple shots, one with mom's reflection in the window looking at her husband and son playing in the backyard. That really stood out to me. But overall, I thought this was a very moving short film. It had a beautiful resolution that although we don't know where the dad is, at the very end, we see a few months later, Nick's hair is worn in an afro instead of tied in a protective style, much more free, like he was expressing in the beginning.
And his father represents a dominating force that's preventing him from expressing himself. And you can see it, his father's disgust and disappointment when he isn't good at catch. It's such a telling moment. And it's revealed later in the dialogue that it's really his father's fear that's promoting this harsh behavior. He's, in a way trying to toughen him up because he feels like that's going to be better for him overall as a young Black man, and that's going to be to his benefit. And then you have the mother who originally allows him to have the Tao, and she represents acceptance. And so the parents end up also kind of representing those two various beliefs about gender roles that were presented in the beginning with the two girls, where his father wants him to conform to the masculine and feminine roles. His mother is content with him just being who he is, and then eventually allows him the opportunity to flourish as who he is. And it is just a very beautiful rendition of how we raise children in this society, and we decide very early on that they're going to conform to male, female roles, pink, blue, from the beginning. And now people are going out of their way to try to avoid that. But I think that however ways you try to avoid it, it really is not about whether we wrap the baby in a pink or blue blanket or we put X on the birth certificate. It's really about how they're raised and if they're given the freedom to express themselves fully, or if they are not given the freedom to do that. And that really comes involved with the parenting.
Cinematography was top notch. I loved that. But one of the most impressive things to me was Aiden. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. The acting chops on somebody so young was absolutely wonderful. He's really, really talented. I think the whole cast did an amazing job on this. I especially loved what the filmmakers did and how they portrayed the dialogue between life-size Nikki and Aiden's character of Nick. I thought that that was very clever to make sure that the viewer knew that this was a fantasy. The way that they did this was great.
And so we dive into the story of following Nicky, who is drawn to his feminine nature. And he's exploring and wanting to play with dolls and dress up and bring him out in exploring in such an innocent way, but we see the problems that exist in his household as he has a disapproving father who is already understanding of the hardships of what it's like to be a Black man in America, much less a gay Black man in America. And so out of fear of the potential of who his son is, he sort of goes about his way to toughen him up and try to be really strict with him so that he doesn't necessarily explore, obviously, the things that ultimately bring Nicky joy. You see where he does have this support that comes from his mother. His mother wants him to be who he is, and if that's what makes him happy, then she is for it. And his father is disapproving, and they butt heads, and they kind of show that maybe not all couples are meant to be together. Just beautiful, well done piece. You really feel the moments of intensity that come with this. As Nicky is like hiding in the tub and trying to keep away from his angry father, to just running and feeling free, to be loving and laughter and beautiful in this moment in the sunflowers.
This show how important for parents to give the space for their kids to explore themselves sexually, because like they cannot control everything of their kids, like their thoughts, the body, even like the habits. So this is going to be a very important short for any parents out there, to give the freedom for their kids to explore who they are and who they want to be, like not only just sexually but personally too. And I feel like the person is pretty well done. It's mostly like in the house short, but like it just gave us a sense of like contentment or sense of uneasiness when Nicky confront with his father about what he loves to do in his free time.
Very interesting film. I really love the usage of colors in the film. That like this is a very colorful movie, and there is a kind of happiness around the lights around the movie, like kind of this happy filter. Although the movie itself is actually quite strong. Um, Nicky that wants to own a doll, and then these obviously these unveils sorry the toxic 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 masculinity that is inside the house. I think it was very well done, and the fact that drama and comedy are mixed together is also another powerful tool, which I personally really enjoyed.
The little boy, it could be a phase, it could not be. It's something that if you push it, it's going to become something more, which they did. When really, the friend Jordan had it right. It's a doll. Let them pretend. It's what kids do. It's no issue. I know there's a deeper meaning to this, but still, it's one of those things where a doll's a doll. I think the film did a really good job in calling a Barbie doll a sunflower Nicky rather than getting any copyright infringement. They did a fantastic job with that.